Okay, let's see if this is gonna work. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Because I've mainly been streaming to my gaming channel. Hi there, everybody. Welcome to the Scottish Geeks. My name is Derek, for those of you who don't know me. And yeah, face cam. Everywhere it's face cam. This is supposed to be a review of Erik the Viking. The Erik Viking review had been recorded and all that, and it wasn't going right, and I've just not had time for anything, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this live, just get it out there, get it done, get it sorted. So just thought I'd just, like, you know, wait for a minute or two just to see if anyone's going to join us. I'm going to very quickly share the stream around. It still says, well, does vaping change your voice for some reason? I don't know why. One of those things. Okay, here we go. Tweet that out. Let's do it. Yep, there we go. Let's here. Facebook, obviously. Yes, Facebook. Still showing No Man's Sky. Road to 9,000 subscribers. I think we'll just leave that there. Hello, Shari, how's it going? Okay, so we're gonna get started anyway. So, yes, Erik the Viking. Suggested to me by Misty Rose Sheldon. Now, Erik the Viking is a movie that I have watched countless amount of times when I was a kid. I think it was 1989 when it came out. I've got some information over here just in case. Hello, Scott Montague as well. I don't know whether the chat thing's going to keep coming up or whatever. It's supposed to have this live chat replay on YouTube now. It's just not been working. I don't know why. I'm going to check the stream options out, see what it says. Blah blah blah. Added delay none. Super chat sponsors. No, that's fine. Code setup. That's fine. Everything's good. It's all good here. Right. Anyway, so basically, okay. Erik the Viking is set in Viking times. You know, where the Norse mythology and all that, where the age of Ragnarok, and my God, we're getting retweeted like everything here. Hello, Ellison. So it's the age of Ragnarok, and we start off the film with Erik, our hapless Viking, basically bursting into this villager's hut, and he's supposed to like be doing this whole rape and pillaging thing and looting the place and all that. But when it comes to the crunch, yes, the crunch. I'm using the crunch here. I must apologize, but I have to use a crunch. He can't do it. Because he doesn't see the point in it. He thinks it's wrong. So the woman he's with is kind of confused about this and asks, well, you know, is the pillaging and looting okay with it? And he's like, well, yeah, we need to do the pillaging and looting in order to fund the next expedition. So they're like, you know, it's like, so you fund an expedition to pillage and loot so that you can fund the next expedition to pillage and loot. It's a never-ending cycle. It's a vicious circle. He's like, well, yeah, I never thought about that before. So off they go, and sorry, they don't go off. They don't. It's much sadder than that. Erik decides that the best thing to do would be for her to scream rape at the top of her voice, and she's kind of annoyed at him now at this point. And two other Vikings come in and proceed to try to. He gets angry at them, stabs them, and unfortunately kills his new friend. And cue the titles and epic music, and off we go to his village. The Viking village of Erik the Viking. And we start off, you know, everyone's killing themselves laughing. They're doing the whole Viking games thing where they've got someone tied up with their hair braids, pinned to a wall, and they've got to throw an axe to get to them. Erik, of course, not enjoying this very much, decides, I'm out of here. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done with this. I can't stand this anymore. Let me out of here. So off he goes, and he goes to meet the wise woman of the hills, Freya, played amazingly by Eartha Kitt, and she's hilarious in this role. Is anyone getting any buffering or anything, by the way, just while I'm talking? And you can join in with the conversation if you fancy it. So anyway, yes, I've got my script that I'd written over here. So Erik learns from the wise woman Freya that Fenrir the Wolf has swallowed his son, plunging the world into the age of Ragnarok, and so he has got to try and figure out a way to wake up the gods to get rid of Freya. Only one person gets slight buffer, and that's okay. Cool. So basically, he has got to go to a place called High Brazil. Yep, High Brazil. I don't know. It's weird. And he's got to find this thing called a horn resounding. And in order to wake up the gods, first of all, he has to blow the horn resounding 3 times. The first time will take them over the edge of the world to Valhalla. The second blow will awaken the gods, and the third blow will bring them all home again. So he gets his crew together with a hilarious sort of montage of the Vikings all getting themselves sorted out, including the berserker. I'm trying to remember the name here. Where's the names? Sven the berserker and Sven's dad are hilarious. Sven is a berserker who just can't hold it in. He can't hold it in at all. And his dad is an ex-berserker with a very sort of patronizing tone to his voice. He's like, "You're never going to be a berserk if you keep letting it out now. My father was a berserk, my father's father was a berserk. We never let it out before battle." And he's getting really pissed off at this point and starts smashing his head through stuff. He's like, no, if you let it all out now, you're never going to be a berserk. So this is like an ongoing story kind of thing with Sven and his father. But anyway, eventually they get everyone onto the boat. Oh, I missed something there. Actually, there's a blacksmith called Kettle Blacksmith. Brilliant name for a blacksmith. Whose assistant Loki, you can see where this is going now, has convinced him to try and sabotage the voyage, so he's going to go along with them. But he's like the most handsome man in the village, and all the village women are all like, "Oh my god, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave." And all like, why? Because he meant stuff, obviously. Anyway, so yes, so they get all on the boat, and then another hilarious scene happens where they're trying to figure out who goes on what side of the boat because people are arguing, and eventually they put all the big people on one side of the boat, and all the small people on the other, so the boat kind of capsizes slightly, and he's like, okay, we're gonna sort this out. And then it's like all the people with beards on one side and all the people with mustaches on the other side, and it's like, no, we're just gonna leave it now. Let's just go. And I don't know if any of you watch Emmerdale, but there's a guy in it called Sandy. I'm trying to remember his name. Bear with me. I've got it written down over here as well. Where the hell is it? Oh yeah, Freddie Jones. Freddie Jones is Harold the Missionary, the only member of the Viking tribe who is actually religious towards Christianity. Everyone else is the Viking gods and Valhalla and all that. He's the only person. Yeah, good old Freddie. He's the only person who's actually a Christian, so he's still trying to convince everyone to be Christian and all that. So he's on the voyage with them, but this will come into play later on. So basically, they start to head towards Hybrasil, and we cut to Loki trudging through the snow-covered mountains and stuff to go and meet Halfdan the Black, played amazingly by John Cleese. And if it was remade in this day and age, it would still either be John Cleese or they would get Stephen, what's his face? From QI, I've forgotten his name. Self-proclaimed smartest guy in the world. Stephen Fry, that's it, yeah. But anyway, so he's there, and it's like, he's such a reasonable sounding guy. It's amazing. It's like, he is, he's like the head torturer of the land. It's like, you know, we'll just cut his head off over there, and maybe cut his... Anyone for lunch? Anyone? Let's go for... Oh, before we go, let's just boil that man in oil and flay that man alive, boil him in oil, cut off his head, cut off his hands, and send him on his way. So basically, they are now on a mission to stop Ragnarok from happening because... Sorry, stop the end of Ragnarok, because it's bad for business. You know, no taxes, etc. Why are my hands doing that? I've just noticed myself doing that in the stream there. That's a good thing about streams. So off they go, and Erik and the crew have been rowing for a good little while now, rowing through the ocean looking for Hybrasil. They're getting kind of annoyed. Everyone's feeling sick, you know, and taking the piss out of the people who are feeling sick. And all of a sudden, the sun appears in the sky. It's like, they're watching it, they're like, I never thought I'd see the sun again in my lifetime. And some of them never ever seen the sun because they were too young to see the sun. And it's like, hang on, should the sun be swaying like that? And it's going back and forth. And at this point, Freddie Jones, as the missionaries, Harold, is like, what are you talking about? I don't see anything. He doesn't believe in anything they're talking about, so he can't see anything that's going on. He just sees the ocean. Like, but there's this massive big dragon that's like it's flinging the ship around and everything, and he's just sitting there going, I don't understand all this. What are you talking about? You're just trying to make fun of me, aren't you? Oh, and he picks up a bit of seaweed. He's like, ooh, scary dragon. Everyone else is screaming around them because there's a big, massive, fire-breathing dragon around them. So eventually, Eric decides that the best way to get rid of this dragon would be to stuff feathers up its nose. And of course, Sven goes berserk. His dad's like, you can't go berserk against a dragon. It just won't work. And he's like, shut up, Dad, kind of thing. So they eventually, the dragon sneezes. They go flying. Harold's sitting there going, what's going on? Everyone's sort of hanging on, and he's just sitting there like nothing's happening. And they're all hanging on for dear life. It's insane, but it's so much fun as well. And the dragon, for the day, the time it came out, for such a low budget movie, was actually pretty well done. So anyway, they land, and the boat starts sinking. And basically, they start panicking. They've all got their swords out. Like, we can't die by drowning. We won't go to Valhalla if we die by drowning. And it's like 12 hours later, they're still in the same level in the water. It turns out they've actually hit land, and just nobody noticed. Nobody saw it. And it was like, welcome to High Brazil. Oh my god. It's on YouTube. You can actually find it on YouTube, Alison. So, let's see. So they arrive at High Brazil. They're astonished to find a sunlit land whose people are very, very friendly and very, very annoyingly unmusical. They basically want to serenade everyone with a song, Tum Tum Tum, Tum Tum Tum, which goes like Tay Tum, Tay Tum, Tay Tum. That's it. That's the lyrics. That is the lyrics and the whole song. That's pretty much the lyrics for the rest of the songs. And they've got this rule in High Brazil that not a drop of blood must touch the land or else the whole island will sink. Of course, Halfdan the Black turns up and massive fight ensues where Eric uses what he has been told is a cloak of invisibility, which for some reason only works on the king of the island. So everyone can see him. He just thinks they can't. So he's like running around sort of, saying, ooh, pretending he's a ghost and everything. And they're more sort of nonplussed as they're getting killed as they are not unable to see him. And he, of course, thinks he's completely invisible and shocking everyone by showing himself every so often. But, of course, no, everyone just thinks he's completely insane and just... they don't know what to do about it. So he wins the fight. That's all there is to it. Oh, apart from Harold, who for some reason can't see him. You know, doesn't believe in dragons or Valhalla or anything like that. But, oh no. A rag on top of his head and he disappears. It's like peekaboo for kids. So yes. So Eric then falls in love with the king's daughter, the Princess Odd. It's Imogen Stubbs. And the king is actually played by Terry Jones. There's a lot of Python folk in it, but it's not actually a Python movie. I don't know if it's a Python movie. So once they've defeated everyone, one of the bad guys turns out to be Loki. And he was like, no, I was here to help you the whole time. And of course, they steal the mouthpiece from the horn resounding. And all hell breaks loose because Loki kills one of the Vikings and a drop of blood hits the land. And of course, everything sinks under the ground. But of course, the king and all the people of the land, it's like, you know, this is impossible. This could never happen. So even though they're in the midst of drowning, their feet are getting wet as their island sinks further and further down, they're sitting there going, nope, not happening. It's like, come on, come in the boat, we can save you. I think we know best. I mean, obviously this isn't happening because, you know, the island's never going to fall. You know, we're never going to drown, you know. It's like, and if they keep on talking like this until the point where there's bubbles. That's it. So, anyway, the princess had managed to somehow procure the mouthpiece of the horn resounding and blows the first note, and off they go to Valhalla. They'll go over the edge of the world, and at this point, Harold the missionary, as his hair's covered his face, and he can't see anything now. Apart from stars, like, I'm seeing stars, like, we're all seeing stars, like, yeah, but I bumped my head. And down they go to Valhalla, and they see the big, massive... It was written and directed by Terry Jones, yeah. They see the big, massive, you know, castle of Valhalla. I never knew why Valhalla was a castle, but there you go. And of course, Harold the missionary is killing himself laughing here because he's like, what are you all looking at? There's nothing here. It's like they're all thumping it. It's like it's solid stone, it's solid wood, it's solid everything. And he just walks straight through it and walks back. He's like, you don't have an ounce of faith in you, man. That kind of idea. But and they go to meet with the gods to wake them up. They blow the horn resounding again. Of course, the gods wake up. The gods are kids. The gods are like little tiny children with bad attitudes, kind of thing. And Harold wanders back to the boat, of course, and they try to get the gods to stop Fenrir the Wolf from, you know, having the sun in its stomach and, you know, end the Age of Ragnarok, and they just don't give a shit because, you know, they're the gods, why should they care? So bear with me, I'm just going to look at where my script says here. I do have some stuff scripted here, but most of it's just, I'm just winging it here. So Odin, the king of the gods, informs Erik that he and his crew can't return home, basically. But they can't stay in Valhalla either, so they're gonna have to go to hell. So some of the Vikings that were killed along with, you know, along the journey and everything, try and help Erik and the crew. And Harold, he's really pissed off and annoyed, and he's like, I just want to go home now. And he sighs, blowing into the horn resounding, and all of a sudden the ship just catapults up into the air. It's just he's like, ah! And the Vikings all find themselves back home, as if nothing had happened. But the sun starts to shine. There's blue skies. Everything is, you know, amazing. The Age of Ragnarok has ended. And but then Halfdan the Black, who has managed to, you know, escape and survive, etc., comes up with some more of his soldiers and has some of the children hostages. Like, look, surrender now, or I'll kill all the children. And like they throw down their swords. It's like, I'll kill the children anyway. And then all you hear is Harold screaming at the top of his voice, "Look out below!" And the Viking ship just lands on top of Halfdan the Black. And that's pretty much the end of the movie as the villagers celebrate. But yeah. Basically, that's it. That's the entire movie. I'm just looking at here. It had a budget of where's the budget? I don't know. It made right. The box office, it made $1,932,642. It was a 107-minute running time. I think the one on YouTube has actually got more stuff in it, and it was released in the UK on the 29th of September 1989. That's probably why I went to the pictures to see it. But yeah, I don't know if any of you have actually seen Erik the Viking or any movie like that. But one thing I will say is, if you've ever got any movies that you want to review and you want to do it in a lot shorter time than I've done it here, then what you can do is you can head over to Stardust, which I'm just bringing up on my phone here, so bear with me. So you've got the Stardust app right here, where you can put, well, oh, there we go, where you can put your reactions onto movies and everything like that. You can also search for movies, for example, Erik the Viking. So if I type in Erik the Viking, any movie you can think of is probably in there. Let's search for it. Searching for Erik the Viking. There we go. We got some results here. And I think I'm the only person with a reaction on it. Pretty much, yeah. I'm like the only person that's done a reaction to Erik the Viking so far. So we need some people on Stardust to get some good reactions on Erik the Viking. And one of the things I want to do at some point soon is I want to get people to suggest movies to me. Once this becomes a video, you can suggest some movies for me to review next time. Whether I do it live or whether I do it as an actual video, we'll soon find out. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed that. If anyone's got any questions about the movie or anything just now, since this is live, please go for it, because I'm here, you know. I'm not going anywhere, so, you know, say hello. I will sit here. What would I give it out of 10? I'd give it an 8. I would give Erik the Viking an 8 out of 10. I never give anything a solid 10, because there's no such thing as perfection in this world. I would give it an 8. That's maybe a nostalgic 8. If I was to watch it for the first time now, I would probably maybe give it a 7 or 6. But because I have the nostalgic eyes and I watched it as a kid and I've enjoyed it so much, it's gonna be an 8. Yeah. So there's that. So Alison, Shari, Scott, anyone else who may or may not be here, please do just ask me anything. Alison says, I'm going to definitely check it out. Thank you so much for the review. I love Monty Python. Used to watch it with my dad. 8 out of 10 is good. Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's not strictly speaking a Monty Python movie. It's got very Monty Python-esque sort of humor to it, but I love the fact that the Vikings are a mismatch of various different sort of nationalities. You got Scottishman, you've got Englishmen, you've got Americans. It's quite funny. I don't actually know if there's any Irishmen in it, to be honest, but yeah, I mean it's a really really good cast. Remember John Cleese from Bond? Yeah, John Cleese is awesome. John Cleese has done so much in his life. I mean, things that are silly equals awesome, definitely. I mean, it's an amazing cast. I mean, you got Tim Robbins, Mickey Rooney, Eartha Kitt, Terry Jones, Imogen Stubbs, John Cleese, Anthony Sher, Charles McEwen, Tim McInerney, John Gordon Sinclair, Richard Ridings, Freddie Jones, Samantha Bond, Jim Broadbent, Jim Carter, Neil Innes, Alan Surtees, and then of course the people who played like the gods who don't have their own Wikipedia page, obviously, but yeah. So yeah, I think we're pretty much done then. That's my God, I'm a bit. Tim Robbins was in the Shawshank Redemption. I think he was actually. He was also in the Pick of Destiny. You think I should do a review on Restless Natives and Newtown Killers? Interesting. I'll write that down actually. Anyway, since we're here, where's my mouse gone? I'll bring up a notepad. Bear with me, guys. I'll just bring up a notepad here. Text document. There we go. Movie suggestions. Right. So what have we got here? Is that one movie or is it okay, Restless Natives. Restless Natives. Newtown Killers. Anything else? The Great Escape. Clockers. Okay, Clockers. The Great Escape. Wolf Creek 2. Okay, anything else? Anyone else got anything? I mean, you don't just have to do one or two. You can tell me a few. Remember to put these suggestions up at Scent of a Woman. So one of the things I want to do is I want to make it like about some older movies. I'm not going to do anything new because new is more difficult to get like rights to. I want to be able to do it like some of the other other folk do. I'm not a critic. I'm a wannabe critic, but I want to do it like they do, where they have scenes from the movie and things like that. And these things I have noticed are going to take a bit of time. I mean, a lot of work gets put into these. I mean, it has to be scripted. It has to be spot on. So I don't know when the next one's going to come out, but I'll do something. I'll be doing other stuff while we're doing there. Scent of a Woman, I think, is a decade. Oh my God! Stop making me feel old, man. Come on. I was 9 years old. Sorry, I was 10 years old. No, you can do more than one. I was 10 when Erik the Viking came out. I'm 38 now. That movie's 28 years old. That is nuts. That is nuts. That's really... Clockers. I think I've heard of Clockers. God, there's a few of these movies I've actually heard of. I know Wolf Creek 2. I've seen Wolf Creek 2, and I think I've seen Scent of a Woman. That's Al Pacino, isn't it? You've got it in DVD. We can watch it on Monday. Cool, cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do some of I'm gonna do some of my own as well. Another thing I want to start doing is I want to start doing like creepypasta stories and stuff. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me since we're still live at the moment. Ba-ba-da-bum-ba-da-bum, ba-ba-da-bum. Right, guys. I'm gonna do something here. Right, bear with me. Bear with me. I'm gonna read a random creepypasta story, guys. Are you ready for this? I've never actually done this, so. Right. Here we go. Guys, ready for this? Need to move you lot over to the other side so I can see what I'm doing here. Right, random creepypasta. This is going to be quite a short one. It's called a micropasta for a reason. The story is called We Found Heaven and It Was Empty. Nearly 3 decades ago, work had begun on a machine that could punch a hole through the fabric of reality. A hole straight through to another reality and beyond. The idea was that with the right circumstances, we could find a universe with limitless energy. This would make up for the unimaginable amounts of power the machine took up, and the irreparable damage it would likely do to Earth and the surrounding solar system. But, if we found a universe at the beginning of its creation, we'd have an unfathomable amount of raw, undefined energy that would last us a couple of billion years. And at the same time, scientists would be able to study universes that followed entirely different laws of physics from our own. A few years before I was born, this was accomplished. With this limitless energy expanding technology beyond anything possible before it, and solving most of the world's problems, war and struggle had been at an all-time low. Until a group of religious extremists tried to use the machine to prove the existence of God. This started a war, one of the largest uproars in history. Nearly every single religion turned on this small group of 30 people, protected by the United States government. Some were scared that their God would be proven false, and some thought it was wrong to try and prove their God real rather than simply having faith. But in the end, there was no war. World leaders could not attack the US, which supplied their power, and the countries who did were often far too small to do any major damage. The machine was set to search for a universe with the coordinates of various holy numbers from the Christian Bible. For weeks, it searched, finding nothing. Different combinations inputted every time a search failed. Until a little over 4 months ago, January 19th, 2234, we found heaven. There was nothing else it could be. It was a reality of endless sky. Nothing but clouds and blue as far as the eye could see, as far as any creature, machine or natural entity could go. The air was breathable, fresh and sweet, and the light was dim but not too dark to see. And it was entirely empty. The only thing of note were red lakes. Every cloud had them, and they were incredibly fresh. They were still rippling upon entering the universe. Some, in fact, hadn't even fallen to the ground yet. The first 3 in even claimed they looked humanoid for a second. The damage to our world upon opening a portal is irreparable and devastating. But we now know the damage to the other world is 1,000 times worse. We destroyed heaven. We destroyed the gods. There you go. Impromptu creepypasta. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm gonna head off for now. You guys are over there now, which is why I'm looking over this way. Here we go. I'm gonna look back over here. Face on, face on. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing more vlogs and everything. And things like that. It's weird having my face up in the creepypasta because usually I've got the, what do we call it, the some sort of screen up there. So we'll wait and see what happens. But guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. And catch you next time. But until then, bye bye.